It's interesting because we've never dealt with aerial predators. We've been here for a year now and we haven't dealt with hawks or anything like that from above once. Hi there, yo folks. Welcome back to the Homestead. I'm Sean the Modern Yeoman, and this is not a normal video today. I was filming this morning, and we had a pretty interesting occurrence. A hawk or a falcon, some sort of bird of prey, was very brave and actually swooped in on one of these little meat birds as I was moving the tractor. Now, when I move the tractor, a lot of times there'll be a little gap that the birds can go under, and they'll go in and out, and I'll always move them back into the tractor. But this bird, this hawk, this chicken hawk, whatever it was apparently waiting for me to move the tractor. He's been keeping an eye on these meat chickens, I think. And he swooped in as I was moving the tractor. I don't know if he knew I was there. He had to have. But he swooped in anyways. He must have been hungry. I was lucky enough to actually get the whole thing on film, the moment when he tried to swoop in and grab one of the chickens. And he didn't, thankfully. He wasn't successful. And I want to take a look at that footage here in a minute. But first, I just want to do a check on all the various flocks, or 3 total flocks, to make sure everyone's okay. And maybe make some adjustments where necessary to protect from this kind of thing happening again in the future. So I have a feeling that this hawk is probably more interested in the small, kind of diminutive little meat chickens, more so than the adult chickens, but I don't want to take any chances. So the very first place I'm going to check is the Kraemer chickens. And first thing I notice is one of their things fell over. I ended up moving it up here, but I just want to make sure all the chickens are here and accounted for. I've been thinking of moving them soon anyways. Let's see how many there are. 6, 7, 8. There are 8 chickens, so they're all here and accounted for. They're spooked. Like I said, they've been hiding. I've been meaning to move their run anyways. It's starting to get a little feathery. I think they might be starting to molt. So what I think I'm going to do is move them up to the north lean-to, just to give them a little bit more protection from above, from aerial predators. So I'm going to do that here in a minute. I'll probably have my dad help me move them. But first, let me check on the other flock. It's interesting because we've never dealt with aerial predators. We've been here for a year now, and we haven't dealt with hawks or anything like that from above once. There'll be vultures that fly over occasionally, one right there, but they don't seem interested in live animals. They seem to be more concerned with roadkill and things that are dead. They don't really care about the live chickens. Okay, let's see how this flock's doing. Okay, everyone seems to be here. I'm not really concerned about the adult chickens, like I said. I don't think they're the primary target. It's these young teenage chickens, and they're all here. They really don't seem to be that spooked over here. I don't know if the hawk made his presence known over here, but none of these chickens seems terribly concerned about death from above. I think what I'm gonna do is make sure all my meat chickens are there, all the Kraemer chickens are there. I'm gonna move them to the north lean-to. Probably move some of my little owl scarecrow things around just to mix it up a little bit and maybe confuse this hawk if he's around anymore. One thing I didn't show on film, shortly after the hawk attack, a lot of the birds were kind of swooped under the deck. I corralled them back here and got them all back in here. And so what I'm going to do is take a picture, because there's no way I can count these chickens as they're moving around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of them and count the chickens on the picture just to make sure I've got all of them here. Okay, took a picture, counted off the chickens. They are all here and accounted for, thankfully. They look juicy. They look like good meat chickens, and apparently I'm not the only one that thinks so. This hawk thought so as well. When we initially set the Kraemer coop up in the east pasture, the reason we did it was because it gets more light and therefore we'd be able to get more sun for the charger. I decided against putting them under this north lean-to initially for that reason, but this is still going to get plenty of light, number one, and number two, giving them some sort of shelter away from this hawk is far more important, I think, in my view, than having a little bit more light. Where they were out there was really close to where the meat chickens are, and that hawk seems almost exclusively interested in the meat chickens. So I just don't want any of these other laying hens around those meat chickens. They're safe inside their chicken tractor as long as I don't lift the thing up and they escape under. Those meat chickens are safe, but the laying hens are open air, and so I want to keep them as far away as possible from that tractor. They're coming out. Did you manage to coax them out, Holly?
I did.
Just your presence?
Just my mere presence.
It's been kind of an exciting day, huh, gals?
Just a bit.
I think this is better, honestly.
Yeah.
They've got a nice overhang.
And the charger will still get sun, right?
The charger will still get sun.
Okay.
You know, it only gets sun half the day, but that's plenty, I think. All right, guys, that's okay. Yeah, check it out. Your new digs. I fixed the tube, the one that had fallen off.
Did you tighten it?
I did, yeah.
Fighter is...
He knows there's some new chickens, new blood.
You can't get to him, though. Poor Fighter.
I don't think they realize what awaits them around the corner.
He's like a bull that can't get to the cow in heat. Sorry, Fighter. Gonna be like The Outsiders. Did you ever read that? With
yes,
the two gangs.
S.E. Hinton.
Showdown.
So what now? Well, I took a look at the footage just to see where the hawk was coming from. And surprisingly, you can see the hawk at the beginning of the video clip that I was filming. You can see that he's coming from somewhere up here in this tree line next to my driveway. So I don't know if there's a nest up here, but it's an area that I need to keep an eye on whenever I'm moving the meat chickens, because this hawk may have some sort of little nest or watch spot up here. Then again, that may not be the case. He may just be hanging out wherever there's an extra branch and looking. But it's interesting to watch the footage just to see where he's coming from. You can see him swoop in, go around the tractor, kind of move his wing around the tractor, and then try for one of the meat chickens. Thankfully, he didn't get the meat chicken. It was a missed opportunity for him, so he kept flying past me. And of course, it takes me a few seconds to process what just happened. Was that just a giant bird of prey that flew past my head, feet away from me? Yes, it was. The real question is how I'm going to deal with this, because something tells me this hawk is going to be back. Now, this is a very common problem. A lot of homesteaders deal with this. But again, like I said at the beginning of this video, this wasn't something that we dealt with the entire year that we've been on the homestead. A lot of people mention guard geese, having a guard goose around your chicken flock or your chicken flocks. Just having one goose, apparently they're a nice deterrent to hawks. You could also put netting over your entire chicken run. I'm more loath to do that just because I move the chickens so much, and that would just be pretty impractical. I do have some other ideas of how I can deal with this hawk, but I'm not going to mention them here on YouTube just in case the hawk is watching this episode, this video. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today, guys. It's been an exciting day, but hopefully we've taken some steps to prevent aerial predation in the future. I guess we'll see. In the meantime, I'm very happy that we got the Kraemer chickens under the north lean-to. They look like they're happier. That could just be me, but there's something a bit more secure about having all of this overhang that they can rush to in case a hawk or some other creature starts flying above or swooping in from the sky. Anyways, I hope you have a good day, and until next time, remember, as always, slowly, slowly.